Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Captain Logan Show. I am indeed Captain Logan. Joining us this evening is my son, Jason.
Hello.
And our regular producer and chat moderator, DJ Martinez.
Hello. What are they saying? Say Captain? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. He said Captain. He said what?
I like it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. That's a song that... guess who sent me that song?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Patron, yes, of course.
Of course.
He sent me that for a month. We've been making fun of it all over the house ever since then. And that's most of the lyrics of the entire song. It's just, he said, Captain, he said, what? And then, so the other day I just started doing it with different characters. This is like, he said, Batman, he said, what? He said, Batman, he said, oh, so that's what this feels like.
That's amazing. Thank you, Jeffrey. And thanks for the super chat that you just gave us. I'll read that in a minute.
He said Bubbles. She said, what? He said Bubbles. She said, what? Woo!
It's like a vocal warm-up for like an impressionist.
That's exactly what it's like, yeah. Welcome, everybody, to the Captain Logan Show. Thanks so much for being here. For the next hour, I'm going to ramble on about whatever you guys would like me to ramble on again. Jason will also jump into the rambling. And you know what? If you feel like it for whatever reason, I don't know why you would, but you can even ask DJ things.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares what I think.
We're going casual dress tonight, so if any of you guys dressed up, sorry that I didn't give you the memo. You weren't supposed to dress up this evening, but tonight we're wearing t-shirts. So DJ has got his Captain America shirt. I've got my Clever Girl shirt.
Oh, nice.
And I've got a bunch of Marios.
Yeah. It's unusual for none of the t-shirts to match up, too. Usually there'll be, like, a couple of Spider-Mans or a couple of Batmans, but not tonight.
We're hitting all our bases tonight, yeah. A wide net we're casting with our geekiness.
Yeah. So anyway, if you guys would like to ask me anything through the show, either a topic you want us to talk about or just a direct question, leave it in the comments anytime during the show, assuming that you're watching right now as we're broadcasting. Afterwards, it will be impossible. You'll just have to wait for the next live show. And if you want to make sure that your question gets read, you can leave a super chat. And we sure appreciate everybody who has ever done that or will ever do that. You guys are absolutely wonderful, helping us to keep moving the show along. But don't feel obligated to do that. We'll get to as many pre-written questions as humanly possible. You know what, though? The DJ, I don't think you said this on air. Maybe this is just a conversation you and I had. But at one point, a couple weeks ago, you and I were talking, and you were like, I wish we could take live calls.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Or we could even take, like, phone messages. Like people leave a message on Facebook or something, and then we play it back and respond to it.
Yeah, we could give them a number to call. And we
that'd be a thing we could do.
Play it live.
Yeah,
Stay tuned, guys.
Or you could even, well, you wouldn't even have to be a number necessarily, because you can leave voicemails on Facebook. So it could just on the Geekvolution Facebook, people could leave us voicemails. We could play them on air.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Geekvolution Hotline coming soon.
If we do that, we will screen them. We won't just play whatever, because there will be lewd things, I am sure. And lately, we've been getting trolled occasionally with super chats, but I respect the fact that the trolls are paying us. That's the classiest way to troll,
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm gonna leave him a $5 super chat to support his channel, but I'm gonna try to make him say butt on air, And I'm just not gonna do that. So anyway.
You just did it.
Oh, that's a bit of a loophole. How are you doing, Jason?
Good.
What is happening? Jason's been reading through the Harry Potter series.
Yeah, I'm on the second book.
And you've read through the first 3 before, right?
First 4.
Oh, okay, wow. Hey, did you get all the way through 4? When you did it before?
Yeah, I did.
Tell everybody how quickly you read book 1 this time.
I read it in a week.
7 days.
Wow.
17, and I mean, I didn't read 2 a day because I haven't even...
Are you talking about chapters?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well done. That was cool. Well, anyway, let's go ahead and start taking questions, guys. Thanks a bunch of everybody who's here. I see lots of folks there in the comments. Carl Maxey is here. Efrain is here. Anime 2019, Blue Dragon 5, Donnie St. Pierre, The Wanderer. He's wandering around. Lightning City is here. Jester Bell, Stussy. Welcome, folks. It's time to make the magic happen. Go ahead, DJ.
And apparently a wild me appeared.
Yeah, wild Jason. Yeah, and a wild Jason appeared.
Yep.
Did you know that, DJ? The first one of these I did just on a whim. It was called A Wild Captain Logan Appears. And
Yeah, because when I went back to look at the playlist, I saw that.
72 shows later,
Here we are.
we've started numbering them again because I cannot keep up with the way I label things. DJ a couple weeks ago was like, "Hey Cap, for like the first like 9 they were labeled, and then after that they became dates. I'm just wondering why that is, and if you'd like to go back to the episodes." And I was like, I should probably keep track of what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
I am really professional. This is a professional operation we're running here.
Super pro. Oh man.
Let's get into it.
I got a lot of questions though.
Sweet,
so
let's do it.
People like us.
I'm excited.
We got.
Thanks,
Blue
guys.
Dragon 5 is here first, so first come, first serve.
He was here first. He gets to ride shotgun.
Cap, do you ever feel like you've been too harsh on a rewind after the fact?
So, I'm sorry, say that again. I was reading an amusing question. Go ahead. I'm going to use a comment. Go ahead.
He says, Cap, do you ever feel like you've been too hard on a rewind after the fact?
Yeah, that happens occasionally, because, you know, we change and grow as people, and we have different experiences when we watch things. That's the reason that I always say that my review is based on the last time I watched a thing. The Captain Logan from 2019 is not the Captain Logan from 2009, and I said that when I did Ninja Turtles. That's the reason that I wanted to come back and redo that video, not only because it was like 6 minutes long and I had more things to say, but because I didn't agree with everything I said in that. That was always the big one. And I think more often though I've had movies where I thought they were better than I think they are now, honestly. I tend to get more critical about things than less so, but sometimes there's movies that I just didn't fully appreciate early on that I appreciate more later. But I think the second thing happens a little bit more often. I was just when I had to have you repeat that, I was looking at a comment from Anime 2019 who said I had to pause a different Captain Logan video so I could watch this. That's pretty funny.
All right. Speaking of Anime 2019, he says, and this is a weird one, and I'll put you on the spot. Cap, how would you describe DJ in one sentence? And DJ, how would you describe Cap in one sentence?
Such a good question. Do you want to go first or second?
Probably second.
Okay.
Just because it'll give me more time.
See, but the thing is, I can do up a sentence, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I first read it the first time, I thought it was one word. And I was like, oh, goodness.
Yeah, but one sentence. I mean, I can go on for a while, man. I can do a diatribe that doesn't have any punctuation. And without even having to go to run-on territory. You know, I was an English major, man. I know what conjunctions are for. But anyway, DJ, I would describe you as a very reliable and dependable and talented in the art department colleague and friend. That's how I would describe you.
Look at that. He didn't even need a full sentence. He just needed some adjectives and a noun.
I mean, it was a sentence because I began the sentence with "I would describe you as."
Yeah, that's true.
No pressure, DJ. This is why maybe you should have gone first. I don't know if you can follow that.
Yeah, this is why you don't want to say this question to your somewhat boss.
Somewhat boss. I can eject you at any point. I got Jason here. I don't need you.
I think Cap, I'll do it in your same format. I would describe Cap as a... No, Cap is a very, very, as I think... No, he's an incredibly personable, thoughtful, just friendly guy who's incredibly easy to just have a conversation with that doesn't really have to end until we run out of time. So he's just super easy to talk to. I don't know. It's really fun. I don't know. Like we kind of hit it off the first time we talked, and it still hasn't got sick of me yet. So.
Oh, thanks,
man.
Such a nice thing to say. I don't agree with any of that, but I appreciate it.
Yeah. Getting all sentimental. 2 questions in.
Yeah, right away, man. We need a hanky. Hey, how would you describe DJ?
Oh, okay. I would describe DJ as very smart and athletic.
See, I almost went for athletic.
Well, how does he know that? He's only ever seen me sit in the chair.
Because he's been
Because-
on enough Morphin Manias to know that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Dad told me that you can do a backflip.
Well, that is the measure of athleticism in most of the known world.
Does that make
As soon
you?
as-
Oh, no,
as
it's
soon as
just
someone-
if you can do a backflip.
Yeah.
You're
As
good
soon
at
as someone finds
sports.
out you do any kind of martial arts or anything, like, do a backflip, even if it has nothing to do with anything. But yeah,
That reminded me of Star Fox. Do a barrel roll.
do a barrel roll. I wish they said that. That would be much better.
Yeah, Jason. What was that? What was that face you made? Are you jealous of DJ because he can do a backflip?
Yeah.
Because Jason's a dancer, and so being able to backflip will come in handy at some point.
Yeah, man. I'll teach you someday. We'll get it. If your dance teacher doesn't teach you first. Or if you don't start tumbling or gymnastics or anything.
I did do tumbling, and then this year I'm not doing it because
He's got so much competitive. He's not doing tumbling right now, but he'll probably go back to it.
and the
Cool.
teacher's different, and
Okay, so this is just turning into our personalized podcast. So let's go ahead and move right along, and maybe it'll get geeky again. I'm not promising anything, but it's possible. Go ahead, DJ.
All right. Balin, son of Fundin. Do you know that name? Balin, son of Fundin?
No,
Is that-
that's a new one to me. Welcome. Thanks for
Welcome,
being here.
man. I haven't read the question yet. So,
Unless you're someone that I know that just changed your handle.
Oh, here we go. What do you think of the rumor that High Evolutionary and Annihilus will be in Guardians 3? Hadn't heard that.
I haven't thought about that. I guess I heard that a little while back. Those are characters that would make sense to put in a Guardians movie. That's my answer. So yeah, that could be cool. Annihilus makes a lot of sense because that would be drawing like directly from some of the really early Guardians relaunch stuff from the early 2000s. So and going back to like. If they go back and pull anything from Annihilation Conquest, or Conquest, Annihilation, whatever that was called, that stuff would make sense because that's where all that started from. So, yeah, I won't be surprised if that's the case. And the thing Gunn really needs, I think, for his third movie is a big, scary, cool cosmic villain, right? Because everybody thought that the villain from the first movie was a little bit lame. I always said that with Ronan, he was trying to do kind of like a pouty-faced, whiny kid allegory thing, and it didn't quite translate. That whole movie, he's just got this pouty face. He's like, and he was that was supposed to be comedic, and we were supposed to laugh at that, while at the same time there was some characterization behind it, and everybody thought that he was just kind of dull and there wasn't anything to him. And then the second movie, that's one of the better movies, or one of the better villains in MCU, I think, despite some of the issues I have with the mythology of it and the pseudoscience of it. But he hasn't had like a big like traditionally scary cosmic bad guy yet, and we did get that with Dormammu with Doctor Strange, but Guardians needs something like that, so Annihilus would make a lot of sense.
Awesome. I'm going to jump to Super Chats because we've already got 4.
Somebody wants you to do a
Thanks,
backflip
guys.
on camera. I don't think you could do it here, but maybe someday.
I probably actually could. I'm going to turn the fan off, though, and I'm going to pick up my son's toys so I don't break my foot. Not tonight, but someday.
Stay tuned. Later, some other time. We can make that a goal at some point. We can do a backflip goal.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind whoring myself out anytime.
Well, now that you say it like that, never mind. I'm sorry, DJ. That was me and crass of me. I should have talked to you ahead of time.
No, it's always fun. I enjoy
can
it.
you do a double flip?
It's very unprofessional of me.
Not on the ground, Jason, but maybe someday.
Can you do a double jump? Can you, like a lot of platformers? Can you like jump in the air and then jump again?
Only if I have a Mario spring. Wakes asks with a super chat, how my boys feeling tonight? Y'all believe in ghosts? Any stories you have with any encounters? That's 3 questions, but we will answer all 3.
This will make no sense, so I'll have to clarify. In the order in which you ask the questions, my response is bossa nova, no, and yes.
What? How does that make sense?
I know I don't have any encounters, but I did go on a ghost chase once, and I went to this house that a friend of mine claimed was haunted, and we we set up an appointment with people that owned it to go to go check it out, and there was supposed to be a ghost haunting the house and also haunting like the cornfield outside the house, and we didn't actually see anything. We just listened to these people ramble on about all the weird things that have happened in their house, and I was like rattled around and stuff. But we walked around with flashlights for a while, and it was very Blair Witch, but nothing happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have anything. I have no reason or experiences in my life to make me believe in ghosts, but my boss at work does, and he tells me about his experiences all the time.
Oh wow, interesting.
And like lights that he sees in his garage, and like
there's probably an explanation for that. That's not ghosts.
I don't know, but he's also a graphic designer, so when he brings me a picture of a ghost in the background of one of his photos, I'm like, I know how you'd put that in there, man.
The day ghost says, so exactly like Blair Witch, nothing happened. The guy from earlier that we wondered was new responded to as Balin, a son of Funland. Thanks for the welcome, he says, and no, I'm new, although I've watched your videos for a while now. Thanks, man. Thanks for popping in.
Awesome, man. Fun. Is your name a reference to The Hobbit? Is Balin? Are you the dwarf?
Oh, I bet that is what that is.
I don't know who Balin's father is.
I haven't read The Hobbit since I was in high school, and yeah.
Well, then I would be a little weirded out if you remember that. Let me see. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and do one more super chat since it's from Jeffrey, and it's kind of pertinent to what we were talking about a while ago. He says, "What? W-O-T.
What?" Said Captain. I said, "What?"
Thanks again, Jeffrey, for the entertainment.
I said, "Doomsday." He said, "Metropolis."
Is that all Doomsday says?
Yeah.
He
looks at the Metropolis sign and he laughs. He does this like, ah, and then he sees the Metropolis sign and he just goes, "Metropolis." Eric and I always make fun of that. And then we're like, how can he read that? I don't understand. It's like somebody said Metropolis to him and he decided that was the city he wanted to go to, and then he sees the sign and he goes, "Metropolis." And you're like, wait a minute, he can't read. At least doubt he could.
Yeah, that's interesting. How did he learn to read? Anyway.
I don't know. It's a good question.
We are getting lots of rumor questions tonight. So we got one from Jester Bell. He says, Cap, thoughts on the Birds of Prey poster and the leak that Cassandra Cain is going to be just a motor-mouthed street kid.
Yeah, that's disappointing, isn't it? I want to hold out hope that there might be some fun to be had in that movie, even if it's not what I want. Everything we're seeing from it is making it look more and more like a direct sequel to Suicide Squad. And it's weird, right? Because
we're getting a Suicide Squad that's not a direct sequel to Suicide Squad.
Except it also is more and more looking like it kind of is, right? Like, it may be sort of soft rebooty, but they're using a lot of the same actors, and I figured they would totally recast. They're not doing that. And then we're hearing things about how this movie is supposed to be like. What I read was like it's supposed to take place like 4 years after the last movie or after Suicide Squad. Like they're talking about it like it's a sequel to that movie, and I figured it would just be really vague about how much stuff counted. So one thing I'm wondering is if we're gonna be so vague and ambiguous with the Joker that it might have been Jared Leto's Joker, or maybe you just have to imagine your own Joker, because like it's not gonna be any flashbacks to that character. I would assume, unless they've recast it and they haven't said anything about it. We know Leto's not in that movie, or at least I'm pretty sure we know that. So I don't know. It doesn't look like what I want. It looks like for an audience that's very much not me, and I'm bummed about it because all I've wanted is a Birds of Prey movie. I love Birds of Prey. I love a lot of the characters in that. A lot of the characters they cast for this movie are characters I've always wanted to see in a movie, particularly Cassandra Cain. And it sounds like she's going to be the opposite of what Cassandra Cain is. I think the poster is weird, and irritating for me because, of course, they're putting the Harley Quinn up front. Could we just call it that if that's what it is? Just have a bunch of, like, if you want all these other side characters, fine, but could we just call a spade a spade? It's a Harley Quinn movie. Don't put Harley Quinn, in the really long, stupid subtitle, the self-indulgent subtitle, of one Harley Quinn. What kind of pretentious nonsense is that?
Yeah, I don't envy any designer that has to incorporate that into a poster.
You know what?
Is crazy.
I've never said this on camera. You know what my immediate reaction when I first heard that title was?
No.
They said the DCEU was dead. No, it's not. I don't believe you. That in the same way, because BVS also had a long, convoluted, dumb title. This is different. This is wiggy. And if the movie is great, and it goes along really well with that silly title, then okay, I could be won over by that. But it also feels like a kind of cynical marketing obnoxiousness, right? Where it's like, it's Birds of Prey, and it's Harley Quinn, and it's got like a silly mashup of words to try to give you a sense of what the tone of it is, and it's like, can you just call it something simple but descriptive? You know, Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. It's not what I want, but that's what you made. So call it something like that. But like, BVS said Dawn of Justice. Like, don't worry, we'll get to the Justice League. We know we're a little late to the party, but we're gonna be able to fight Marvel just fine. No, don't you worry, right? And this is just like that, where it's like, well, we're afraid that some people aren't going to be really excited about a standalone Harley Quinn movie, and we sold Suicide Squad on her, but we still don't trust that enough to just do that movie, even though we announced Harley Quinn movies that we're not making. Just call it what it is. You made a poster with a big Harley Quinn head with a bunch of little characters that nobody that hasn't been reading about this knows who they are because they don't have costumes.
Yeah, I have no idea who they are either.
And I'm reading articles where people are like, oh, Cassandra Cain looks interesting. Oh, does she? Could you take a magnifying glass, circle which one is supposed to be Cassandra Cain for me? Because I'm not reading every morsel about this project, and I can't tell just looking at it. And that's not necessarily a problem. Okay, so it's a movie where they don't want to do costumes and they're doing street clothes, and that might be great for the tone of it, and I'm not complaining about that. I'm just saying that you got a picture of a Harley Quinn head, and she looks like Harley Quinn, and she's wearing kind of a costume, and you got a bunch of just regular-looking people. I mean, not regular-looking, but just, it's silly. It's eye-catching. It will sell the movie okay, I'm sure, but it's almost like, well, we should have put Harley Quinn in the title, but we didn't do that, so we'll just sell it on a big, giant Harley Quinn head. We should just put her name in the title.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a cool concept, though, because it's like a cartoon motif where she got hit in the head and the birds are tweeting around her head, and it's the actual
Oh,
Birds
is that
of
what
Prey.
that is? I didn't even think of that. Okay, that's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's what they're going for. I don't think the execution was good enough, because I don't think they added like lines, and they could have added some stuff. They're just kind of plopped in there.
You remember Roger Rabbit? I can do stars!
Yeah, like if that's the tone of it, I think that's a cool concept. I just had problems with the execution myself, but
yeah, no, I'm with you. That's fun. I'm dumb and didn't pick up on that, but I can't be the only one. Because immediately I'm thinking about theme and stuff. Immediately I look at that, or like how it's being marketed, what the angle is, right? Immediately I'm looking at that and I'm going, okay, the poster tells us Harley Quinn matters and nobody else does. Like, that's what it feels like. She's so big she could eat them all for breakfast and still be really hungry. They need to just call it what it is. I couldn't complain as much, because it's just not for me. I couldn't complain, and maybe I'll watch it and love it, but I couldn't complain as much if the thing was just called Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey. You know, it should be like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! It should be like Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey. Like, that's what it should be, because that's what it is!
Well, people enjoyed your rant, so thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Jester Bell says, pretentious nonsense describes the title perfectly.
What? 7, 8, 9 super chats. So I'm gonna hop back over there.
People wanted me to talk about that, so that rant was going to go on for a little while.
No, that was great. I enjoyed it myself.
Was there another piece to that question?
Yeah, well, it was about the rumor or leak that Cassandra Cain is going to be just a motor mouth street kid.
Didn't do that. Yeah, hurts my feelings.
Yeah, but we'll see. I don't know if it's a rumor or if it's a defined leak. I don't know.
Andrew, I'm with you. Ewan McGregor as Sionis is a really cool pick, and I am interested to see what that looks like. Like, I'm curious about the movie, it's just not what I want, and it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like the direction you'd go right after Suicide. This is what I meant to say earlier. I gotta say this real quick. So,
sure.
Suicide. Thanks. This is my show, but I appreciate your permission. The thing is, they said DCEU was
sarcastic. I meant to add sarcastic in my sentence in the beginning.
Really easy to talk to if you don't mind sarcasm.
Which I don't, which is why it works out so great.
So here's the thing. Gesture says, wait to see what his motive is, or wait till you see what his motive is. Yeah, I'm trying not to find out too much about this project too. So I'm sure I'm saying things where some people are like, well, if only you were looking at the background. I don't want to know too much about this because I'm afraid I'm gonna get real turned off to it before I see it. But anyway. They said the DCEU was dead, DJ, and they've been playing it like they're just making movies now, and some of them might end up being sort of canonical as it goes along. They're just having like a wait-and-see attitude about it. That's what they told us. I have a theory. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think what they're really doing is they're going to count everything that has performed as stuff to keep building on. I think what we're looking at is, and possibly like pocket universes, right? That like maybe later we'll start talking to each other, but we're doing a Suicide Squad movie that is more and more sounding like it might be more of a direct sequel and a little bit less of a soft reboot. And this looks like it's directly related to that last Suicide Squad movie. Are we looking at a Suicide Squad shared universe where nothing else is connected to it except for Suicide Squad things? I think we might be looking at that. And think about characters that did not perform well but are huge, important characters in DC that they fumbled on. They're making them all period pieces that are not going to connect to Suicide Squad.
That is true. I think I heard that even the Batman movie might be a period piece. I can't remember. I don't know if that was true or not.
It's
really...
supposed to be set in the 80s.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Which
so
is
I guess
great, but like those things are not going to talk to each other. And I don't know why people involved in Joker have felt the need to come out and say that Joker and Batman won't meet each other, but they've said that. Which seems kind of obvious to me, but you know.
Well, some people will still be like, "Oh, he should be in the Batman movie."
Yeah. I hope he dies in his origin so they can't make any more. Even though the movie is great!
Oh, man. Well, he has come out and said that there's no plans for a second one because people thought he said that. Anyway, more importantly, Super Chat. Malik Myers asks us in a very vague...
Hi, Malik. Oh, Malik also called you creative.
Thank you, man.
You're
creative. You're all creative.
No, you're creative!
Oh, man. He asks us, how do you feel about current Marvel comics? Just broadly, your thoughts.
So I don't want to speak too much about this because I've been kind of out of the loop on current lately. I've just been busy getting back into Rewind and looking at other things, and so I'm not keeping up real hard on current. And when I was, there didn't seem to be as much interest as there used to be about me talking about it, and part of the reason that I kept up as much as I did was so that I could make videos about it. And so I'm much more, and I'm reading more digital now, so I'm still collecting, but I'm collecting older stuff more than anything right now. There's still a few books that I keep up with buying, but I haven't necessarily caught up on very much that's brand new. So where I was with Marvel before, I wasn't real happy with it. There's been too much of a house tone lately, in my opinion. So you'll have outliers like Donny Cates' Venom and stuff like that, and even current Spider-Man, which gets funny but is layered and has like in a very creative and smart way will have tonal shifts. Too many of Marvel's books are just like the same kind of comedy, and books that shouldn't always be as comedic as they are. And it kind of turns me off a little bit. It has felt like they have read to me desperate to bring in a younger audience that maybe just isn't there. And so they're making books that aren't for me, but books that I read and kind of feel like I'm not sure they're for anybody else either. Like I just don't know if there's an audience for some of the stuff they're making. But if there is, that's great. It's just not for me. It's not really what I want. So So there you go. Blue Dragon 5 says really doubling down on Donny Cates these days. Well, I'm just saying that because that's a book I've read recently. I did catch up on that recently and enjoyed what I read of it immensely. Donny Cates is doing some really cool stuff, by the way, DJ, with Venom, where he's going back and retconning dumb things in the mythology that never made any sense, but retconning them in like the most respectable way possible. Where he's like, yeah, you know the whole thing about the symbiote being like a space knight that was like all altruistic and stuff, yeah, that's not really what was going on, because that was dumb. I won't tell you what it is, but the planet of the symbiotes, totally other thing than we thought it was, and it's really cool. But I will spoil this one minor detail. So spoiler alert for that book, but there is an explanation now for the green saliva. There's a reason Venom has that, and it's really good. It's really smart. It's waste excretion.
Oh,
brilliant.
Yeah, it's the only way I can. I mean, I'll leave it at that. But
it's great.
That's cool. So wait a second. Planet of the Symbiotes, is that what the Venom movie? Did it borrow from something that recent?
Well, no, because.
Where he's like,
Planet
I
of the
was a
Symbiotes
loser on my planet.
Yes, Planet of the Symbiotes goes back to the mid-90s.
Okay.
There is a thing called Planet of the Symbiotes, but we've more recently in Venom Space Knight and stuff surrounding it added to what the Planet of the Symbiotes is, and it didn't really match with what was there before, and it kind of took Venom's teeth away a little bit. And so he's kind of helped to fix that a little bit. But yeah, so I don't know, real broad thoughts about Marvel currently, but yeah. Overall, I'm not as excited about new comics as I used to be, just in general. So I'm waiting for things to end, and I'm waiting for arcs to finish before I read a lot of stuff.
Cool. All right. Well, Webmaster47 gives us a super chat. He says, "Can you redo the Homecoming commentary with Eric?"
What's wrong with the Homecoming commentary?
I guess he just wants to hear Eric.
Was there something wrong with it? Did I must have done it with Dan. Oh, because of sorry, I'm catching up now. Because of like Marvel Mania and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. I mean, we've already got a good commentary on that, and we don't have plans to come back and do more Marvel Mania at the moment. So I don't know. As I keep saying, Eric's time is real limited. He loves that movie. I don't think it probably wouldn't be that hard to persuade him to do it at some point, but I've got other things I need to do with him. So I don't want to say no, but not real likely. Unless at some point we decided to do several more Marvel movies, but like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm not planning on doing like daily Marvel Manias again. So. Anyway, we've really streamlined the channel. We're only posting three to four times a week now. Usually 3. Sometimes I have to get in a 4th one because there's some stuff that's just real time sensitive. But generally speaking, what we're shooting for right now is rewinds on Monday or some kind of scripted content. But usually rewinds on Monday. This zany off the cuff, didn't plan for it, didn't have any intention of what we were doing whatsoever show on Wednesday, and then on Fridays off the cuff requests.
Gotcha. So, speaking of time sensitive, this comes back to something we were talking about earlier.
Oh, hi, Jason.
Oh, can I ask a question to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry,
DJ.
When are you going to get back to Cap Can't Play?
To Cap Can't Play?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got one that I was in the middle of that I've not gotten back to that I need to finish with Telltale Batman 2 because I was having internet issues and I had to stop right in the middle of one and it kind of sucked. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, there wasn't an audience for that as much as some other things. It's fun to do, but I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm just not great at video games, which is why we called it that. Oh man!
Sorry, I should have warned you.
I would have muted you, but it was funny, so.
Okay. Oh man. So as I was saying, Webmaster47 asked the previous question, but this question is by DaveID22. He says, "How much Patreon to get DJ to do a backflip for the fans?"
We'll do a goal. We'll do a live show goal.
Okay, we'll do a goal right here live. So if I get hurt, everyone can see.
Well, we don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. But some night we'll do a backflip goal.
Absolutely. This is a high ceiling in here. I'll be fine. Or we can shoot in my backyard.
Yeah, you should do the whole show from your backyard.
Yeah, we'll just do it on my trampoline in the back.
That would be really
Cap,
funny.
man, thanks for the super chats, guys.
We should make you do a bunch of them. We should do like every $10 he does a backflip.
Hey, I'm down.
Off a trampoline.
I mean, I could do it on the ground. It's fine.
Would
Either
you
one.
do backflips for $10?
Oh, that would definitely be the weirdest show. It'd be fun to do a show outside, though, if we could find a way to do that.
It would, yeah. You know what we should do? I have an idea. We just like to plan live while we're talking. I have an idea, DJ. So, none of the viewers know this, but I actually have plans next month to come see DJ in person. You know where I'm going with this?
Yes, right here on the couch.
We should do it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if it's nice outside, we should both shoot the show outside.
Yeah.
And then,
It's
I'll be there in person watching you backflip. It'll be great.
Wait, you're meeting
That'd be awesome.
DJ?
I am.
Surprise!
I told you about this.
Oh, wait, no,
Oh,
you
I'm
didn't.
saying-
He has something I gotta pick up.
Oh, okay.
Did I tell you about that? No? Okay, well, anyway.
Anyway.
You see how professional the show is.
DVID David 22 again with a right away with another super chat says, Cap, your cave, was it the one from Smallville?
My cave?
I don't know
Like
what
the
that means.
Bat Cave? Or what do you mean by my cave? I don't know what that means.
I don't know. There's no. It just says, Cap, your cave. Was
So
it the
I
one
do
from
not live in the Kawachi Cave from Smallville. I didn't I wasn't like motorbiking and then fell through the ground and then discovered my Kryptonian heritage. That did not happen. I do have a replica of a piece of the cave wall that I bought in Metropolis years ago. I do have that, which is the part of the wall where the octagonal key is supposed to fit in.
Oh.
Ghost cave? I don't know what we're talking about. Did I say something about a ghost cave?
Your ghost cave.
I said that I went and saw a ghost, but it wasn't, or tried to find a ghost, it wasn't a ghost. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. I didn't find any ghosts. But it was a house, not a cave. Blue Dragonfly says Jarrell's summer home. That's exactly right. The Kawachi Cave is Jarrell's summer home. When he's pretending to be Joe in the 50s. Or the 40s, or whatever that episode's set.
Man, we just got
that
2
episode?
big super chats, but I'm going to do one
Wait,
pre-selected audience question real quick.
Thanks for the super chat so that I could ramble about the Kawachi Cave. That is one of those quirky, hokey things that's kind of dumb and doesn't work, but I actually kind of like it. Because I like things about it.
Yeah. It goes full sci-fi goofiness on that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It feels like a Nickelodeon show at that point.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good one. Cinematographic.
Hey!
Audience question. Do you think history would be more kind to The Amazing Spider-Man 1 if it were in the MCU from the beginning? Kind of a missed opportunity to not have. That's what he says.
Well, yeah, and of course you just would have had to have had a deal with Sony that early. Where things were right then in trying to reboot, I don't think Sony would have even entertained that notion or wanted to do that, is the first thing, because we didn't even have Avengers yet, so like that shared universe was being started, but they didn't know how successful that was going to be and how massive it was going to be, and they had a Spider-Man franchise that was chugging along just fine, but after Spider-Man 4 was supposed to happen, it just fell apart, so for them it was, we could either wait or go ahead and reboot, but I don't think it would have even occurred to them to team up with somebody else right then. Well, maybe, I mean, I guess... Maybe that's not right to say, though, because wasn't there that whole thing about the Daily Bugle being like in the background in a Avengers commercial? Well, it wasn't like they wanted it, but they didn't know if they could get Sony to come on board. So I mean, maybe on MCU side they were thinking about it, but I would be very surprised if Sony right then would have gone along with that, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, because it came out the same year as Avengers.
Oh, Oscorp Tower, that's what it was.
After Avengers, they definitely would have been more open to it, but we didn't have Avengers yet. So he
Yeah.
clarifies, for some reason it cut off his comment the first time, but he says, it's a missed opportunity to not have Richard Parker be a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of that background with Peter's family, but considering that's kind of the direction they went with it in that movie, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess it's a missed opportunity in the sense that it would have been nice to have Spider-Man in the MCU early. But would people have liked that movie more?
Would the movie have
hard.
been the same? Is the question.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been. That's the thing. Yeah, it wouldn't have had that kind of grittier, more offbeat tone that it has.
Yeah, I really like that movie. If it was going to change the movie, I wouldn't want that to happen. But I would want to see Andrew Garfield and a scientist, Peter Parker, in with the MCU because
Sure,
perfectly.
that fits together really well. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know if it would have been more well received just because it was in the MCU at that point in that climate. I kind of don't think so, but
yeah, I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah, because the MCU was popular obviously at that point, but it wasn't the just behemoth that it is now with everybody. Like Avengers
Right.
made a lot of money, but now it's like they can make anything.
Yeah.
All right. That was interesting. Thanks for the question, Demographic. I'm going to jump to a $10 super chat from T-Edge1.
Thank you very much. What's up? What can I do you for?
He says, has there ever been a thing that has two different ideas that don't seem like they should go together that you thought on first hearing was a horrible idea, but you ended up thinking was done well?
Man, on the spot, that's tough. Yes, certainly, and I've written about that on at least a couple of different occasions, where I always say you can make anything work, you just gotta make it work. So like, there's a lot of stuff where on paper it's like really you blended those two things together, and then sometimes it doesn't work. But yeah, I'm trying to think of really good examples right away. Yikes. I mean, maybe the easiest, most obvious example that comes to my head is blending Star Trek with the Western when we got to DS9, blending a show about exploration with an idea about not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's about as different as it gets.
Yeah, it shouldn't have worked and did. Or at least it shouldn't have sold. Like, the idea that there's no story to tell, and I heard people even back then talk about this. I've been reading the 50-Year Mission lately, and there's a lot of talk in that about how a lot of fans and even the network were kind of against the idea because it was like, really, you're gonna make a Star Trek show where you're not gonna go anywhere? Like, there's no story to tell there. And it's like, well, it's a universe. We see space stations all the time. There's gotta be some interesting stories to tell there. It's just, would it sell? Is that a thing people would actually want to watch? And it ended up being a really smart move because in being stationary, you were kind of relegated to ultimately having to do more serialized stories, and then you had characters that were more fleshed out and had more dimension to them and grew and changed over time, as opposed to TNG, where you had characters like Worf, who we got a lot more background about, and a lot more, Klingon mythology came out of that and stuff. But the biggest changes with Worf are he was really growly and got his butt kicked every episode in first season, and by the end, he was a little bit more articulate and won his fights sometimes.
I'm going to bring up a small little movie that I know you and I both like, that people complained at the time was just Incredibles meets Harry Potter.
Yeah.
That is Sky High.
Sky High, sure.
Wonderfully. It's such a good idea to have a superhero high school, and I'm sure it's not the first thing that's done it, but they did it really well.
I mean, that's the thing I always kind of wanted to see. I always thought it was a cool idea, but I didn't expect it to be good, especially coming, from Disney. I mean, I really figured that would just be kind of, phoning it in, but that movie is weirdly great.
Yeah, we got to do a commentary on that movie at some point. Someone recommend that.
I'm not thinking of great ideas, but I know there's a bunch of... this is going to be one of those questions where as soon as we stop recording, I'm going to be like, oh yeah, there's the thing I should have said.
Well, and if you want to hear what he thinks of after the camera stops rolling, join the Patreon, and you can tune into the Secret Society. And
another obvious easy one is Guardians, right? Like, let's have a raccoon, a tree... And,
yeah, that's like 7 different things, not just 2.
Yeah, absolutely.
Batman. He's not a raccoon.
Batman and camp.
That's true, Jason. You tell him. All right, I'll move on to Lightning City's super chat. He says, believe in aliens? Wow, we're just getting all kinds of questions. If
what's so funny about this whole thing?
Yeah, I'll finish that in a second.
The aliens, the real life aliens and real life ghost question is what about half of the most recent Geekvolution After Dark is about, and we haven't posted it yet. I'm gonna post that this week. But yeah, Eric brought up the aliens thing. We actually went on about that for a long time, and I brought up ghosts, and yeah. So everything you guys are talking about, we just did a whole show on it.
Awesome. So again, join the Patreon if you're interested in more of this conversation, but real quick, he says, believe in aliens? If so, has the government hid them?
No, and
Didn't mean to shout.
probably not. Can you close the door?
Did you hear that they canceled the Area 51 raid?
What? I'm so surprised.
It was a bad idea.
Yeah, because it was. No, what would have surprised me a lot more is if they actually went through with it.
I heard that today at work. But yeah.
Really,
yeah.
a bunch of people turned tail and decided not to march on a secret government installation on
a military base.
Military base, yeah.
Oh man.
I'm so surprised.
Thanks for your question, Lightning City. That's another not too common name. Tyler Parker.
No, Lightning City's been here. In fact, he mentioned when he got here, it's been a really long time since he's been here, so we just haven't seen him in a while. But
cool.
Yeah, he used to be.
Glad to have you back, man.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Anyway.
Tyler Parker asks his super chat question: when are you going to do a video game on Rewind?
I haven't done a video game on Rewind in a long time. They take a lot longer to make, so I don't know.
Wait, in a long time? So you've done it before?
Yeah, I've done 2 of the Arkham games.
Oh yeah, you have.
So when I do those, it's something that is story-driven, has a really good story, and I can talk about the story mostly apart from the gameplay, because that's what Rewind's about. But yeah, it'll happen again at some point. I mean, I got to do Arkham Knight. Arkham Origins could happen, but I may not bother with it. The nice thing about video games is if I don't want to do them, I don't have to, because they're not movies. So, you know, I have to do every superhero movie, because I said I would do that, because I'm a crazy person. But, the movie I'm working on for Rewind right now is 45 minutes long. It's basically not a movie, but the problem is it's the first in a line of movies that are movie length. So, what do you do with it? Just not review it? Like, it is a movie, kind of, except it's not feature length. So, and I hesitate to say that it will be a short Rewind because you guys know me. It's just a Lego thing. It shouldn't be long, but, yeah.
Go watch the Barbie Rewind. I can't believe I'm going to have to make a thumbnail for that.
I can't wait. So you have to make a thumbnail. How long is that Rewind? Is that like a half-hour Rewind? 28 minutes, something like that?
It would not surprise me. I haven't looked at it yet, but...
Really sunk my teeth into that Barbie movie.
Well, they're making a live-action one, I think, still. I think that's still on the...
I hope it doesn't have capes.
All right, here's an exciting question, and it includes Jason, so... Here we go. T-Edge1 asks, with his super chat, Jurassic RV Park, thoughts? And what's Jason's thoughts on Ash finally becoming a league champion? And is he expected for Sword and Shield? Your channel rocks. So 2 entirely different questions.
So before you get into the Pokemon thing, you think about that. Decide what your answer is going to be.
I didn't even know that happened.
I didn't know either. That's crazy. 20 years in the making.
So it hurts my feelings that I did not come up with the title Jurassic RV Park. Hurts my feelings. That is exactly what that is. There's an 8-minute...
missed opportunity.
It is a missed opportunity. That is what I will refer to that as now as well. And it's perfect because it's got park in it and everything. Oh, man, it's so good. Jurassic RV Park.
T-Edge1, kudos.
Yeah, gotta clap for it.
We salute you.
Gotta clap for it. So there was an 8-minute short film that came out. That was called Jurassic World something. I don't know what it was called. Do you know what it's called? I don't know what it's called.
Battle at Big Rock.
Oh yeah, it's a dumb title. But that's what it was called. And well, it makes it sound like it's going to be a much bigger deal than it is. And it's just what you would expect. It's just some family that's out camping that finds dinosaurs because, spoiler alert, at the end of Jurassic House, some dinosaurs escape out into the wild because a clone girl pushes a button and says, they're alive, like me! And so...
I have wiped that from my mind until that moment.
So
I'm glad you just had me
everyone needs to be reminded about that as much as humanly possible. Like me! And then... He said, clone girl? She said, like me! So, then, they make this, Trevorrow comes back, he makes this little short film, I think, just to remind everybody, yeah, Jurassic World's still a thing, and you're supposed to be excited about it, and we want to make $1 billion 3 times, even though the movies we're making are not remotely merited to make $1 billion, and except for Jurassic House, which is a masterpiece, and So he makes this movie where there's dinosaurs fighting outside of an RV, and these people have to like survive the dinosaurs attacking, and then a baby messes up everything because the baby had to cry, and then the dinosaurs know the people are there because the baby cried. And then there's more attacking like of the people. It looks really good. The effects are I think about as big screen worthy as those movies are. I mean, there's a reason it's 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
And there's a reason the whole thing takes place in the dark. That family's charming. That dad in particular has some fun things to say. I love that bit where they're looking at the dinosaurs and the little girl is like asking about it, and she's really perplexed and worried about it, perturbed. And he goes, "Well, it's just nature. Sometimes these things happen in nature." And I thought that was fun. But yeah, it's real throwaway. It's kind of who cares. It's just reminding you of the status quo at the end of that movie, and that the dinosaurs are out in the wild, and it doesn't give me any reason to think that the next one won't be as insane and out there and impossible to take seriously as Jurassic House was. So I'm still very excited about this franchise.
I haven't seen it yet, even though I sent you the link.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you watched it.
No, I'm interested to check it out because that was the most interesting part of that whole movie, is that it finally gets to the good part and then the credits roll when they get released. But yeah, he direct, like everyone said that their favorite part of that movie was the beginning, when like how he shot that whole scene with the water dinosaur and everything. So it makes sense that he would be able to do a good short film that's just dinosaurs attacking people.
Sure.
So yeah, I'll check it out.
I'm sorry, I hope I didn't give away too much, but there's not a lot to give away, man.
No,
they're out in the woods and dinosaurs show up. Is anyone surprised? It says Jurassic World in it. I mean, I didn't give away any more than Jurassic RV Park guy did.
No, I've actually heard a lot about it. I know it's an Allosaurus. It's an Allosaurus.
See, I didn't
and
Triceratops. Although there are some quick, minor spoiler, there are some quick little scenes in the credits, and a couple of them are freaking hilarious.
I've heard those are great. Yeah,
there's a thing with compies. It's great. Anyway,
from the book. That's a horrifying scene in the book.
Well, yeah, but they do the same thing at the beginning of Jurassic
World 2, part
Other
2?
Island.
Lost World.
Yeah, the Lost World. Yeah.
I don't know why I went straight to the book. I've only seen that movie once, I guess. Gymnastics.
Jurassic World.
Jurassic
Last World.
Gymnastics.
They should have instead of calling like because they call it Jurassic World the Lost World Jurassic Park in trying to I guess separate it out from things and stuff. But
weird type.
They should do another one now that we have a Jurassic World and do like Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
The Lost World Jurassic World.
The Lost World Jurassic World. Yeah.
So Jason, the other part of the question.
Sorry.
You said you didn't know about it, but now that you know about it, what do you think about Ash finally becoming a league champion?
Okay, so I know that like he really wants to do that, but here's the thing. My question is, has he finally caught all the Pokemon yet? Because he really wanted to do that.
He's got one goal at a time, Jason. He's got I don't know. I haven't kept up with the show since like 93, so I'm a little behind. That's not true. I've watched like 5 seasons. But
I mean, I'm not a big Pokemon guy, so I don't know a lot about this, so I shouldn't weigh in.
What was the other question?
That was it?
Because there was like a other question that was like kind of in the question.
Oh yeah, you're right. Look at you. See, this is why I need a third person to even check me. He says something about, is he expected for Sword and Shield? So like, is Ash expected to be in Sword and Shield? I don't know.
Like the game or the TV show, because he wouldn't be in the game. I mean, everyone else is in all the other games, but anyway.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Pokemon.
I think he would probably be in.
I got that much, buddy. Yeah, I thought the idea with Ash was supposed to be it was about a character who has this lofty goal he's trying to achieve and he never gets there, and the point is the journey. Like, I thought that was the idea.
Yeah, but he's been 10 years old for like 15, 20 years.
Well, okay, so he's Bart Simpson, whatever.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of a cool place to take the character, since we've had him 20 years of him doing other things. We might as well see what it was like if he actually finally met it. It's kind of like Spider-Man being the CEO of a company, I guess. But Lucas Green gives us a super chat for $20.
Wow,
for 20
thanks,
euros.
man.
I don't know if that's less or more. I don't know the conversion.
Yeah, it's probably like $6, but we appreciate it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Yeah, thanks a ton. We really appreciate it. What can I do for you, sir?
He says, do you still think Mysterio is still alive at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home? Because I'm still wondering if they're setting up Sinister Six. Plus, I bet you jumped for joy seeing J.K. Simmons, spoiler alert, reprise his iconic role.
I thought that was fun. I didn't jump for joy. Had it been me, I would have recast it. And I know a lot of people are like, "What? You're crazy." Just this idea that he's the only person that can play that character. I've never really cared for that. Like he did a great job, but like, there's other people that could play that maybe. And like it sets a weird precedent. Like we've never done that.
Especially because it's a different version of the character.
Yeah. So that's the big thing. So I don't have a problem with it necessarily, but it didn't make me like lose my mind or anything. But as far as Mysterio, I could see that going either way. And at this point, it just depends on what version, how exactly Sony's even playing stuff moving forward, right? Like, these questions get weird to answer until we get another Spider-Man movie now. If it is even building on on the events from those movies, or if we're basically just taking the same actor playing kind of a different character. Like, I don't know what we're doing with those moving forward. Yeah. So, just based on what we had there, I'm going to cop out and say it's ambiguous and the filmmakers don't know if he's alive. I'm going to do that.
Yeah, I kind of wish we wouldn't even, like, pretend that he's dead. Like, I thought we learned our lesson because, like, we kept Lizard alive, we kept Vulture alive. Like, I thought they weren't doing that thing where they killed the villain at the end of every movie.
It's not a problem with Mysterio, though, because he's an illusionist guy, and he might want everybody to think he's dead. So there's good reasons for that guy to intentionally do that.
Said he was dead. How did he trick the glasses?
Well, I don't know, DJ. I haven't thought about that before.
Because he says, are they dead?
But it doesn't matter because the way we like to retcon things like this is we like to go, who cares what happened to the actual movie? Hopefully no one will think about it, right? So if we decide to bring him back, they'll just be like real loose and broad about it and be like, well, yeah, he's a guy that could easily fake his own death, right? And then you'll be like, glasses, and they'll be like, money. And then, we'll
get like a flashback scene where Tony Stark taught him how to hold his breath for 6 minutes and fool a heart rate monitor.
It can happen.
Tyler Parker comes in with another super chat. We still have 2 more.
Okay. All right. Getting close to the end.
These. He says, in reference to our earlier question about video game movies, he says, video game rewinds, he says, didn't someone request a Telltale game for Rewind?
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to earlier, or maybe I didn't even say it. I meant to say there's like one on the list. I'm gonna have to do one in the not too distant future. Yep.
Okay. That's an interesting one. I'll come back to that. Pandora gives us a $5 super chat. Thank you, Pandora. Whether you are the planet or the
Music Genome Project.
Music Genome. Well, either way, we'll accept it, and we will answer your question. What are the upcoming request commentaries so I can buy those movies ahead of time?
Oh, you were going to say the girl with the box, weren't you? You were going to say what Pandora actually started from. The New 52 character that never really paid off in any kind of a great way.
Oh, yeah. I only know about that from you guys talking about it, where she was just, like, in the background all the time.
Yeah, and then she got, like, her own one-shot or something, and, yeah.
Didn't she have, like a hood? For some reason in my mind...
She did.
You're never going to remember this, but in the in the Batman Scooby-Doo crossover, the first one, where they're in the house, and the old granny is the villain, spoiler alert, but she has, like, this pink hood, and her face is black, and you can just see her eyes. That's what I envision every time you say.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she looks like, yeah.
Okay.
You know what's funny, though? Because of how long it's taken Doomsday Clock to come out, we paid off Pandora better than we paid off Watchmen.
Oh, no.
So it's
still not done?
No, it's got, like, one more issue left.
Hasn't it been years?
Yes, it's been 2 years.
Okay. Anyway, Pandora asks, 2 questions. What are the upcoming request commentaries? So I can buy those movies ahead of time. And also, please do Logan and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Yes. those will happen at some point. I have a bunch of rewind requests right now, and I'm trying to blow through those, and occasionally I'll throw in something else that's kind of easy so that I can keep it going as regularly as I can. Well, no, I know, but I'm just mentioning the reason that those may or may not be on the short list.
Gotcha.
I will get to those eventually. As far as commentary requests go, the pilot for Lois and Clark is in there. The Hellboy is in there, which we've not recorded yet, but that'll happen in the not too distant future. The Phantom comes out Friday. Not the movie, they're not re-releasing The Phantom, but I did a commentary with Vince on The Phantom, and that comes out on Friday, so that's a movie that you would have to get if you wanted to watch the commentaries. And then DJ and I very soon are going to be doing one on the live-action Jungle Book. Somebody requested that, which I've still not seen, so I got to do my homework. I got to watch that first.
Cool.
Those are the ones that I know about off the top of my head. And also Akira is one, another movie I've never seen that I'm supposed to do.
Virtua Fighter?
No, not Akira from Virtua Fighter. Although it would be really funny to do the anime starring Akira, who is a kid and is obsessed with eating dumplings, and then basically morphs into what Akira looks like in the Virtua Fighter games. It's insane, but that happens.
I remember that now.
Yep, that would be the video that finally got 0 views, but. Anyway, I'm supposed to do Akira with a guest host, who I'm not going to reveal who it is yet, because I don't know when I'm going to be able to get him, and hopefully he's still doing it. But we were supposed to do that, and that fell through, and hopefully it will happen soon, especially because the person that requested is going to want that to happen. But anyway, so if you've been requesting things on Patreon, and you're wondering where your request is, as I've said, we're doing it on a rotation, and I'm putting them out on Fridays now, and we'll put one out every week. As much as humanly possible. It should be every week, and I've got a few in the can right now, so eventually we'll catch up, and I'll have to make sure that we're putting those out on time. And then I'm thinking about overhauling that that tier at some point, because the commentaries have been getting a little bit harder to do, because I gotta find a co-host, and I don't want to put things off and make people wait who request stuff. So I might have to get those back to where I can do all of them all by my lonesome. So stay tuned on that. Right now, still doing commentaries, but that could change at some point. And this would be a good time to mention that all of a sudden we're setting my house up to move. And I might have to take a little bit of time off at some point, because that has just suddenly come up. And I won't get into all the reasons why, but my wife and I have decided that we just need more space. We had plans to add on to the house, and we've just decided it's going to take too long. We really want to move. The opportunity is kind of arising. It's making more sense to do it now than later. And so we're kind of having to rush it, and that's going to happen soon. So we're going to buy a bigger house. I got to sell the one I'm in, and then Geek Evolution headquarters is going to look totally different. But in the meantime, I may need a little bit of time off while we're in the middle of the move. So right now I'm not announcing a hiatus or anything, but a short one could end up happening. So stay tuned for more information on that. This bombshell is coming to you immediately after I found out about it. We basically made this decision last night to go ahead and try to make that happen. So anyway,
okay.
My life is a whirlwind.
Whew.
Yeah!
Yeah. Okay, so we got a clarification super chat. Sorry you had to do this, TH1, but he says, excited, autocorrect sucks. So earlier,
it does.
In his super chat, when he asked if he is expected for Sword and Shield, he was asking if you're excited for Sword and Shield, Jason.
Oh! Yeah, I'm excited for Sword and Shield.
Yay! Okay, good. I was really hoping you had an answer.
The starters look interesting.
You know what, though? You had a valiant effort in trying to answer that question. You navigated that minefield wonderfully.
Yeah, to decipher. Yeah.
So, why are the starters weird?
Are they not fire, water, and grass?
Yeah, but there's a fire monkey, which is kind of funny, but also kind of weird.
Is that his name, Fire Monkey?
No, but
Is it Monkey
he's a
Fire?
No, but he's a fire monkey.
Is it Fired Monkey? Like he just perpetually loses jobs?
He's a monkey.
Is it the monkey?
He's
The
a
fire
fire
monkey?
type.
It's the Fire Monkey.
The Fire Monkey.
Yeah.
Oh man, I
I'm
haven't
on
played a
fire.
Pokemon
He's
game
just playing.
since
He's just
Ruby.
playing NBA Jam all the time. I'm on fire.
No, he's listening to TMBG.
Yeah, that's TMBG song. That's great for the 5 people that will know what you're talking about.
Hope Jeffrey's still
Anyway,
here.
Carl Maxey, will you do a video on the move? Probably
Road
not. Well, we're not. I mean, we're moving in town. You know, we're gonna stay in the same city. I don't know. I don't know how interesting that would be. There could be a video in there somewhere. I don't know. Might do something for
Patreon.
Yeah, might do something for Patreon. Might do a live show just in the middle of moving. Just, there's nothing in the space now. Sorry, what?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, you should just sit down, cross-legged in your completely empty living room and just shoot a video that way.
I wish DJ was here. He'd have space to backflip.
Yeah. Well, what we didn't say is I'll be coming to help him with the move, and then I'll be backflipping in his living room.
Oh, I wish you could, man.
Yeah, none of that is true.
Wish you had the time to come. Yeah, don't even tease about a thing like that, because I'm gonna need help. I'm gonna come down and see you in the middle of trying to move, and I'm gonna be like, okay, so what you don't know, DJ, is you're getting in the back of my trunk.
First we put it in the arcade system, then we throw you in, then we
throw
drive
you
back.
in. Yeah.
Somebody said, I got to read this because it made me laugh. Somebody said, you're moving. Is Eric going to be moved as well? What box are you going to put him in?
It'll be marked Eric. It'll have holes in the top. Eric is not ready to move out yet, as far as I understand. He's been saving. He's working on it. He's not there yet. So if we move it early enough, he will probably, pretty clearly move with us. But hopefully he's able to find his own place as we're doing that. I just don't know if that's going to be feasible for him. But obviously, I'm not going to kick him out in the middle of the move. I mean, he'll come with us.
Oh, it's a grass monkey, and then it's a fire bunny.
Oh, there he is. Just like, the speak of the devil, and he appears.
Yeah, we have to keep it quiet because they're not going to tell Eric about the move. He's just going to come home from work one day and they're going to be gone.
No, he knows about it. He knows about it.
I thought it was a grass bunny.
Oh.
Oh, it's a fire bunny? That's even better.
It's a grass monkey.
Grass monkey!
That sounds like an 80s song.
Grass monkey!
Or like a 50s song.
Grass monkey.
Anyway, okay, so do we have any other super chats? We're about out of time.
We are in the clear, sir.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess that's going to do it for the Captain Logan show then. Wait.
Oh,
we just got
a $10
another one. Yeah, and I'm sorry we didn't get it more pre-written, but this was a big super chat night. People are making us stay. They're making us stay late.
I wanted to leave him with Grass Monkey, but
sometimes it's like working at a call center. You can't leave. You got more calls.
Lucas Green says, Cap, have you ever seen the Iron Man Armored Adventures TV show? If not, they just teenaged most of the characters, Stark included, and armored up most of the bad guys, including Mandarin.
I have never seen that show. I think Eric has told me that he liked it okay, but I don't want to speak for him. I can't remember. But no, I've never watched that. Thanks so much for the super chat. I wish I had insightful things to say, but I've not seen that.
Hopefully it'll be on Disney Plus and we can check it out.
I'm really excited about the Fox shows they're going to have there.
Yeah. I have a bootleg version of the Spider-Man, but I've never seen the Fox show or the X-Men show. So
I also have a bootleg version of the Spider-Man show because for the longest time it was the only way I could watch it, and it's been off Hulu for a while now. I'm really glad that I did the rewind on it when I did it because it went off Hulu shortly thereafter.
Yeah, and then we got another one from DVID.
Oh, and I hope the short-lived Silver Surfer show is there too, because Hulu used to have that, and I haven't seen that since I was a kid.
I heard that's actually really good. But
it is.
Short. The only person I know that's seen it is my little brother. But anyway, he says, DVID22 asks, will you review Smallville Season 11 soon? It's time.
So I have...
to guilt you in. I guess that's just
here's why it's not time. I have plans to finish Count and Crypt the Freaks as overviews, and as you guys can tell, I'm working on getting Rewind back to regularly scheduled programming, and I don't know how exactly the schedule with that is going to work, but I'm hoping to start putting those out again next year, and I'm hoping that I can get it done. My big goal, DJ, is to get Counting Crypto Freaks finished before I am 40, and I've only got 5 years, so I got to really get on that soon. But I had planned on writing about Season 11 as part of the overviews, and so I'm probably not going to do any off-the-cuff stuff on it. I'll probably just do that as the last episode of Counting Crypto Freaks, but I have read a little bit of it now. I started reading the first part of it when I was on my hiatus, and I was actually really enjoying it. Because it's real self-aware and knows it's Smallville and does dumb things because it's Smallville, and it's really fun. Totally cracks me up. There's a whole explanation for I'm trying to remember what it was, for a power and like why it's different now that I can't remember what it is, but I can't remember now. There's some really funny mythology stuff in that. But anyway, I'll get to it eventually.
Cool. All right, and that's a wrap on the super chats. Carl Baxi though says, "Keep Eric with you." I don't know if he wants you to hold him prisoner and not let him leave.
It's just not gonna happen, man. He's he's got his own life. I can't do that. He needs to get out of the nest at some point. You know.
Right.
Man's
Thanks
got
for the
plans.
super chats tonight, guys. It was great.
Thanks a ton, guys. We really, really, really appreciate it. Had a really fun time. This is a great night, and unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and so we're gonna have to bid you farewell right now. I'm gonna go start packing my house up. I didn't even know 48 hours ago that I was gonna move. I'm gonna go start packing my house up, and next week we will see you again. Hopefully Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Central Time for another Captain Logan show. Tune in on Friday for a requested commentary, as I said, The Phantom, and we'll see you again with lots more content here on Geekvolution. I was Captain Logan. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
I know you didn't get to say a whole lot tonight, but thanks for being here.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Why is it called hamburgers? Because it's ground beef, not ham. It should be beef burgers.
That is a fantastic question, and I don't want to say anything else. Let's just leave them with that.
I just want to leave you with that. Yeah, it's great. DJ, thanks for helping me out, buddy. Thanks for being here.
Of course. Always a pleasure.
All right, later, folks. We'll see you next time.
Why is it called a billboard?
I don't know. Some dude named Bill? I don't know.
Let's just do the whole show about grammatical quandaries next time. You guys still there? Who are you? Oh, excuse me.